there are some really good passes out there that approach 100% invisibility in the right time and place. Like for example, my gravity half pass scores pretty high up on that list, and Vernon's kiss pass, famed kiss pass, was designed to be performed surrounded and look really great. But these moves as well, like any moves, have a weak spot and a weak moment. There's always a time and a place and a way in which all of these moves are a little bit vulnerable. They all have an Achilles heel. And the key in sleight of hand isn't to find a move with no Achilles heel. It's to find a move with a quantifiable, minimizable Achilles heel and then manage that moment. So I thought today I would show you an example of what I'm talking about from the Paper Engine, one of my favorite sleights in the Paper Engine. It's called the Outjogged Herman Pass, and it just gives us a perfect example to discuss exactly what I'm talking about when I say every sleight has a weak spot. So if I take a card and I place it in the pack here, oh, it actually would be really good for you to get to see the card too, since we're going to go ahead and do this thing. Got it? Do you know what it is? I'll take that card and I'm going to place it in the center of the pack. And of course what happens now is that card has been shifted to the bottom. Now that's the Outjogged Herman Pass, and as you can see, it's got standard good Herman shift angles, meaning just like Dr. Jacob Daly performing the turnover pass and the cavorting aces, everyone from here all the way across this entire radius till they get blocked by my right shoulder has a really good angle, and you don't have to worry if you're performing with an audience in front of you, whether you're behind a bar or on some kind of a parlor or stand-up situation or across the table from your audience. From this position, the angles are going to be just fine. The weak spot, and believe me when I tell you there truly is a weak spot, is for this 20% right here, because anywhere behind that and people are going to be blocked so thoroughly by you and your entire back that there's not going to be a lot of reason for them to stand there. So what you have to worry about is this sort of 10 to 20% right there, and this angle comes up a lot on a lot of different things. This is the angle that's tricky. This is the tricky angle on the gravity half pass. This is the tricky angle on the nowhere pass. This is an angle that needs to be covered in a lot of sleights, which have not angle proofiness, but angle efficiency going for them. This 20% is always really, really important. So when I do the Outjogged Herman shift, there's a couple things to keep in mind getting into this. First, the Outjogged Herman shift is done from this angle. So what I never want to do is take the card, place it in the deck, get into this weird angle, and then do the shift. That's a major tell. It makes everything completely unnatural. So what I do instead of that is I take the card, I try, although it doesn't always work, to avoid showing the face of the card beforehand so that this becomes really necessary. But of course, if I flash the face of the card in an offhand manner and then say, make sure everybody, you know the name of the card, so the card goes in the center of the pack like so, and I go, oh, here, you need to see it. Make sure you see it. And what I'm really doing is justifying that grip shift, because I have to take the card to show it to you like that. So I don't even think about that. I just sort of take the card from above and show it to you. Now I'm in position to do the shift at the exact moment the hands come together, which is the exact way, of course, Vernon tells us how to do the shift. I bring my right hand to my left hand. I say, I'm going to take your card, and look, I'm focused here. Your card's going to go in the center of the deck. That's exactly where I'm going to push it. Sir, what's your name? And I shift my focus. Of course, shift is complete. I shift my focus after I've made it clear that the card's going to go in the center of the pack. I shift my focus now to this fellow. Sir, what's your name? Pay close attention. You're going to see this card float through the pack toward the bottom. You see? So, doesn't matter what sleights you're working on. Doesn't matter what concepts you want to master. Except now that they're all going to have a moment and a spot, a moment in the shift when they're vulnerable. And in that moment and on that angle, you need to be prepared to shift the focus to cover that weak spot. And if you can learn to do that across your technique, so you can do this with all of the things that you handle. You always know where the weak and the strong spots are. You always know how to accentuate the strong spots and cover the weak spots. You will eventually have a situation happen to you where people begin to hallucinate when you perform, that your passes are invisible. But that, like every other illusion we perform, is just an illusion. It's an effect that you can create upon the audience with enough practice and enough effort on the right things.